Hello, my name is Peter Bauer. I've been snowboarding for the past 30 years. 10 years ago we started Amplid, this brand. We're doing snowboards, skis, we do split boards, and I think this is the main reason why I'm here. And let's talk about the morning split. Here we got the morning split. It's the split version of our really very well perceived morning glory. It's definitely a directional shape. We try to take off a lot of volume in the tail to really have like a pintail shape, a tapered board, in order to have the nose always floating on top of the POW. Also the nose, as you can see here, has a really smooth and long radius. So the morning split is really made for flotation. It's probably the most directional, most powder oriented split board we have here in the line. We're using the Karakoram clips simply because, in my opinion, it gives the best support to hold the two board halves together. Regarding the entire geometry, as I said, it's a tapered board. It's also not a swallowtail yet, but it has definitely a cutout in the tail in order to take another portion of flotation area away. And we have a slight underfoot camber under the back foot, and then it's kind of straight here until the front binding, and then the nose really starts here very smoothly with an elliptical scoop line. And it's the flotation machine, I can promise you that. It's a lot of fun. Also with this shape, you'll never have a burning back leg. It's almost mounted centered, and it's kind of paradox when you think it's a powder board, but with this shape it allows you to ride centered, and it's super relaxing. You ride centered all day. Pressure really equally distributed on both legs, and it's super relaxing. Burnt back leg is history. Try it out. Here we got the Creamer split. This geometry actually derives from a board I did for myself for this current season, which is called the B1030, which was kind of my own board. I was gonna design a board which works really well in the backcountry, but also on hardpack. Also very often you need a kind of hardpack performance when you want to get into a steep gully and it's kind of wind blown on top, and then you're really grateful for a board with a lot of support. So this is the Creamer split, as I said. It's also slightly tapered. It has more tail though than the morning split I was talking before about. Also an elliptical scoop radius. It comes in 3 lengths, in a 58, 63 and 68. The 68 also is mid-wide. It's 25.9 in the waist, so you get some space for bigger feet. Here again we're using the Karakoram clips to have the maximum support between the two board halves, and the recommended stance is slightly set back, 15 mil. And of course with the split board version, because there's also a non-split version, it's not that critical because you can go further back to -35 or even centered, whatever you want. It's kind of personal where you want to have your stand center on this board. Yeah, and this is a board with actually almost a traditional camber from the 0 point from the back until your front foot, and then it's kind of flat regarding the camber profile, and then the nose pretty much starts in front of your front foot and turns into a very smooth elliptical nose for maximum flotation. So again, a split board which gives you a lot of support also on harder snow, on kind of wind blown, difficult conditions, and give it a try. Here we got the Milligram. The Milligram has the same geometry and camber profile as the Creamer split. It's kind of difficult to explain this board on a video because the main thing is the weight. You really need to lift it in order to believe it, because it's around 2.3 kilos without the connector clips. The main target was to shave off the max of weight, because I mean everybody who is a regular split boarder knows that every gram you have under your feet counts. So this is the lightest split board on the market, with really a big advantage over our followers. It's almost half a kilo lighter than all the other boards in the industry. I don't really want to talk too much about the construction because there's a lot of secret recipes in there. What I can say that it's quite a complicated core where we use balsa, birch, paulownia, all kind of different wood types which we strategically distributed in stress areas in the board or areas where you have less stress, of course. And then it's a full-on biax carbon construction. The white lines you see here, it's only one single glass thread in order to keep the two weavings on top of each other, because you see here only one direction, the other direction is underneath, of course. And we also sacrificed the top sheet. We call it topless construction because it's another 120 gram. There's no lacquer, like just leave everything off, which only adds weight. We're working with a low viscosity epoxy resin, which comes from aircraft manufacturing. It's epoxy where you can dose the quantity before pressing it, because it's so liquid that it really penetrates all the pores of the carbon. And the result, you just need to lift it and then you know what I'm talking about it. So very easy. It's the lightest split board on the planet, and this is the argument.